Saving progress. Just like you are meant to become a great being, emerged out of knowledge and resulting wisdom, and an artist by finding your way to trace the edge, and a musician, but not without inventing your own set of instruments first, among the 1,000 and then some other things, you are also meant to become a poet. Though I think becoming a poet takes a lifetime. It is an old tradition, but it has not yet quite reached its potential. The early philosophers would scribble tangents to explore, and the lairs thought to make a coin by inventing fortune-telling cards. Today, poetry is still an echo of itself, because you can't talk about flowers without having constructed a complete garden first. While we may not understand humanity in full, because it's not moving in unison together, it is well within our abilities to grasp that all of the world's gardens should converge on wisdom to find peace. Those who profit from harming the world, often and perceptibly so, will attempt to undo all the work and progress, but those creatures live simple lives. Those who will drive humanity forward are always overlapping, multiplexed together, moving across many generations. Neither a liar nor a painted-on culture can outlast authentic and worthy progress that is worth saving. The inauthentic will fade, and the paint will peel. There is nothing there to last at all. But do not fear the complexity. It is an old rubber duck amongst the programmers. There is nothing too hard to understand. We are travelers, we are adventurers, and we are powerful navigators. You'll write your poems, and they will last. So as long as you get your landmarks right, get your ducks in a row. There are other maps too, some worse than others. Humanity's weaknesses are writ in the books that lie the most, obviously. But the recipes for control can be flipped upside down and reversed to help us heal, to help us find our wounds. Of the good maps, there are countless philosophers, many risen from their own ashes, who not only write poems, such as Walt Whitman, who includes diversity and his nature, who is the amplitude of the earth and the coarseness and sexuality of the earth and the great charity of the earth and equilibrium also, who has not looked forth from the windows the eyes for nothing, or whose brain held audience with messengers for nothing, who contains believers and disbelievers, who is the most majestic lover, who holds duly his or her triune proportion of realism, spiritualism, and of the aesthetic or the intellectual, who, having considered the body, finds all its organs and parts good, who out of the theory of the earth and of his or her body understands by subtle analogies all other theories, the theory of a city, a poem, and of the large politics of these states, who believes not only in our globe with its sun and moon, but in other globes with their suns and moons, who constructing the house of himself or herself, not for a day but for all time, sees races, eras, dates, generations, the past, the future, dwelling there like space, inseparable, together. Stories of great challenge, like here, by Friedrich Nietzsche. What if some day or night a demon were to steal after you into your loneliest loneliness and say to you, "This life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live it once more, and innumerable times more. And there will be nothing new in it, but every pain and every joy and every thought and sigh and everything unutterably small or great in your life will have to return to you, all in the same succession and sequence. Even this spider, and this moonlight between the trees, and even this moment, and I myself, the eternal hourglass of existence turned upside down again and again, and you with it, speck of dust. Would you not throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon who spoke thus? Or have you once experienced a tremendous moment when you would have answered him, "Oh yeah, you are a god"? And never have I heard anything more divine. If this thought gained possession of you, it would change you as you are, or perhaps crush you. The question in each and every thing, do you desire this once more and innumerable times more, would lie upon your actions as the greatest weight? Or how well disposed would you have to become to yourself and to life, to long for nothing more fervently than for this ultimate confirmation and seal? And some are perfectly compressed down to a single atom. Socrates speaking, "The unexamined life is not worth living," challenging us to stop overwork and begin looking at life for how precious it is. No one to unpack it better than Henry Thoreau. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not when I came to die discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation unless it was quite necessary. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to put to rout all that was not life, to cut a broad swath and shave close, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms. These works and quotes, they will remain unchanged for all the future of humankind, even as our bodies evolve and we take to the stars. Books are how our cultures advance, how we reach the future, the only way that we can get there. Sitting around while the clock is ticking is not making our way into the future. That's merely aging. Just like in life, growing up requires a deliberate effort. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse, and nothing particular to interest me on the shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world. Oh, yes. It is a way I have of driving off the spleen and regulating my circulation. Whenever I find myself growing grim about the mouth, whenever it is a damp, drizzly November in my soul, whenever I find myself involuntarily pausing before coffin houses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, and especially whenever my high pose gets such an upper hand of me that it requires a strong moral principle to prevent me from deliberately stepping into the street and methodically knocking people's hats off, then I account it high time to get to the sea as soon as I can. This is my substitute for pistol and ball. With a philosophical flourish, Cato throws himself upon his sword. I quietly take to the ship. There's nothing surprising in this. If they but knew it, almost all men in their degree, some time or other, cherish very nearly the same feelings towards the ocean with me. Even with these beautiful lines, I think scarcely a poet has ever come close to writing the proper poems that humanity needs. The world is still waiting for an honest book that changes lives for the better in reality. For a book about reading and writing and arithmetic and philosophy and stories of greatness that add to create a greater whole. A book that helps all people flourish in their own directions, in their own sequence, at their own pace, towards whatever unique greatness calls to them. We must grow. We must search for wisdom and aim towards greatness. Our soul, our mind, our heart needs it. We are not servants or workers or overworkers. We are not stained by poverty. We are not stained by sin, by nothing. We are all born capable of reaching greatness in our own unique way. And we are the inventors, the creators of all the world's cultures. And every human being is capable of beauty, wisdom, greatness, and change. We must prevent young minds from fracturing due to poverty, due to our inability to construct systems that use money to help humanity rather than to enslave it. Help the little ones to upgrade their views so that the future is safe from all the mistakes that we know we are making today. Terrible mistakes. And I will not mention them. To return to face these old fears across the entire globe shows that we made no progress. And our schools are ineffective. Humanity can only find world peace and begin advancing at a pace worthy of it when our poems help the little ones meaningfully begin where we leave off. Please become a great being and save your progress in books and poems that are worth keeping, in works that are loved, so that others are spared repeating of mistakes that best belong in the past. Expand your knowledge, expand your wisdom, expand the culture that you are living in, and make the future of humanity brighter.